Hello everyone, I am Frizelma and I'm teaching parents. Welcome. We're glad to have you all back. If it's your first time, great. We're glad to have you as a part of our community. I am a retired teacher and school administrator. I have also been working with parents for about 29 years. I facilitate workshops. I provide one-on-one. I make home visits. I've done, several different things, but trying to help us as parents, trying to help us be the best parents we can absolutely be. About 2 years ago, I had a bout with cancer. The cancer was in my sinuses, and they had to remove part of my face and do reconstructive surgery. But by the grace of God, I'm still here, and I'm doing what He called me to do. So, remember, we are trying to be the best, the absolute best parents we can be, because our children deserve the best. So today, we are going to talk about practicing at home what you want your children to display at school or anywhere in the public. Remember, students, children, they need consistency and stability. You can't allow them to do anything they want at home without any structure, without any consequences, without any rules or boundaries. And then when you go somewhere in the public, you get upset because they act the same way in the public that they would at home. No, if you want them to learn how to sit down, or how to look at a book quietly, or how to walk through the store with you and not pull things off of the shelves as you walk down the aisle, you have to practice all of those types of things at home. So what we're going to talk about today is practicing how to be a great student. As I still work with parents and younger children, it seems that the younger children have a problem as they begin school, because they honestly, so many of them don't know how to be good students. They don't know what that means. They don't know that means to try to sit at your desk, or sit in a small group, or sit in a square on a rug in a whole group on the floor. They don't know that. And it's difficult for them to follow the instructions in such a structured environment when they're coming from their home, which is a non-structured environment. So we're going to talk about practicing. Practice at home what you want your children to display when they leave home. Our topic is more going to be providing a simulated classroom at home. Yes, a school away from school. You need to find a quiet place, a small area. I have me a little simulated classroom set up. It can be at the table, it can be at the kitchen counter, it can be a spot in your living room, but it needs to be a place that's quiet, a place that does not have distractions. So it's not going to be where the TV is on, and it's not going to be where somebody is playing a video game right across the room from them or right next to them. No, you're trying to teach them how to focus at school. So it has to be a quiet place. The TV needs to be off. Some students can work fine if the music is turned down low, but what happens is they tend to get distracted. So much so, they'll sing the words to the song or get up and dance or, what have you. and they still lose focus. So you have to be careful about that. Usually when your child gets home from school, there should be a routine. We've talked about routines before. So there should be a routine. Whether they come in, put their book bags in a specific place, use the restroom, wash their hands, and come straight to their area to start homework, or whether they eat a snack or you allow them to go outside and, just relax for 30 minutes before homework. All of that is up to you. But once they sit in their simulated classroom, there are some things, some rules that they need to follow. One of them would be, it's a quiet place. That's not the place where they're going to just blurt out and just say things and just keep talking. And that's not the place where you are going to allow others in the house to keep talking to them. That's a quiet time. If they have homework, this is when they will do their homework. So you need to be sure you have pencils, that they are sharpened. If their homework requires crayons or markers, you need to have whatever they will need to complete their homework assignment. In this quiet place, you are teaching your child how to be a good student. If this is their routine at home every day, imagine how they're going to be at school. They'll already know, they'll already be prepared for a structured environment at school. Sometimes, especially younger children, the teachers will send a packet of homework home. It is maybe 1 or 2 worksheets per day for that week. And so the child will do whatever is assigned on Monday, and the parent is to sign it. And then same thing for Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday. And some of them do that even on Fridays. Others choose not. But even if your child has finished their homework, does that really mean, parents, that they have no homework? No, it doesn't. Because our children need to practice on their skills. Now, you as a parent, you already know their weaknesses and their strengths, their academic weaknesses and their strengths. You know if they're really good with math, or if they're really good with reading, or if science is their thing, or if history, social studies is the thing they enjoy. You already know that. They really need to practice on the weak area. So if the weak area is reading, they need to practice that. If it's math, they need to practice that. Whether the teacher has given them homework or not, parent, you are their first teacher. You are to provide homework for them. Now, what most parents think is that means they have to go out and purchase some type of workbook that has worksheets in it, or they have to go online and print out worksheets, or ask the teacher if they have extra worksheets. No, you really don't. Parents, all we have to do is create homework. So if it's math and your child is, let's just say, first grade, you're going to sit down and create some first grade problems. If they're already working with double digits, you're going to create some problems with double digits. And you will have your child to solve the equation. 10 plus 2 equals what? 13 plus 5 equals what? You want your child to work on that. You can do a page. You can do front and back. That's all up to you. It's based on if this is an area that your child needs help in. It depends on how long it's going to take them and their age. You want their homework to be appropriate for their age and their grade. all right? If it's reading, then you want to have some books available for your child. You want to have something age appropriate that you have purchased for them. Thrift stores, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, of course, Walmart, Target, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble, all those places have wonderful books for children. They even have books for children that are in middle school, and I'm sure you can find something there for high school as well. So they need to have their own library at home. Every child should have their own library at home. If you haven't started a library for your toddler, then let's start one. Excuse me. If you haven't started a library for your first grader or your third grader or your sixth grader, please start one. Most schools also have the book fair. You can get books for your child right there. And spend some time with your child at school. So create a little library for your child. Even if you have to put it in the bins that have a lid for them. But create a library. And then have your child to sit and do work to practice on a skill that they are weak in. As a reward, then let them practice on a skill that they enjoy. That way they are improving their skill, the one that they're weak in, and they are enjoying themselves with the skill that they already are strong in. Here is a little tip for those who are struggling in reading, especially the elementary grades. We've used this with our own grandchildren. I've used it in class when I was teaching. I share this with parents now as I facilitate workshops and meet with different groups. A good way to help children be more familiar with words is to buy flashcards. If you don't have flashcards, I took some old sheets of paper that I normally would have thrown away, and I cut them or tore them into fourths and just created me some little cards. On these cards, I would suggest to find the sight words for that child's grade level. So let's just say their first grade sight words. So they're going to be words like THE. And then on the back, I might write a different word. And then on the next card, and I continue until I have all the sight words for that grade level written down. And I write them large because I don't want the child to have to struggle to see them. The whole point in this is for the child to automatically be able to identify the words when they see them. Now, once you write down all those sight words, you're going to create your little stack of flashcards for your child. Then when you go places, grab the flashcards. So while your child is riding along in the car, they can go over their flashcards. When you're sitting at home, they can go over their flashcards. Remember, this is another great way to decrease screen time, and we've talked about that. We have to decrease so much screen time on tablets and phones and computers. This is a great way to do that. Right before your child goes outside to play, let them go through their flashcards. Before they go to bed, let them go over their flashcards. And then for those in our family, after that, they can say their prayers and go to bed. First thing in the morning, for our family, after they pray, great way. I'll get you up 5 minutes early. You can go over your flashcards even before you go to school. And then when you come home from school, you'll have 3 or 4 times every evening, weekends included, to go over your flashcards. Before you know it, in 2 or 3 weeks, those children will be able to immediately, automatically say the words because they will be able to identify those words anywhere. They'll see THE somewhere on a billboard and be able to recognize it, be able to say it. That's what you want them to do, to be able to read everywhere they go. So that's one little tip that could help if reading is the struggle. Use your flashcards repetitively, if that's what you use. Use them repetitively. Add to them. As your child reads the passages from school that the teacher sends, or reads books, if your child is struggling over words, not being able to sound them out, not being able to chunk parts of the word together, then that word should be written and added to the flashcards, so that that child can start automatically recognizing that word. Now, in your simulated classroom, remember you're teaching them how to be good students. So when they need something, they need to raise their hand. Yes, I know it's at home, but remember what we're doing. It is a simulated classroom. It is a simulated classroom. So teach them how to raise their hands. If you have more than one child, wonderful, because then they will have to respect each other when they speak. You don't cut someone off, and they have to take turns. So let's just say you have 3 and 2 of them have their hand raised and you call on one. Well, the other one wants, you have to teach them not to say, well, I have my hand up too. Yes, we know that, but you are learning to take turns. As you teach these things, they will display them at school and everywhere else they go. And that's really our job. So, practice at home what you want your child or your children to display everywhere they go. Practice at home. All right? That's it for today. I hope that you create a simulated classroom at home. Just a little small area. Doesn't have to be the whole table. It could be just one little corner of the table. It could be on a counter. It could be one little location in the living room or wherever they can have peace and quiet so that they can concentrate and they can practice on their skills. I am Frizelma, teaching parents. Please remember to hit the like button below this video. Also subscribe to this channel. You will find other information as you scroll down. There, we are on Facebook and Instagram under Frizelma Teaching Parents. Along with that, I have some information there. I have some encouragement for people. Remember, I told you that I have had a bout with cancer. I have a book that has just come out. It is entitled Left with Half of a Face. It's being sold on Amazon. So please, if you will, check that out. It will encourage people, help lift their spirits, and hopefully it will help people to keep pushing, keep trying, keep pressing forward, keep moving toward the goal. Parents, I need for you to do that as well. Keep moving toward the goal. Remember, we are changing the world and we're starting at your house. I am Frizelma, teaching parents, and I'm only doing what God has called me to do. Thanks so much.